just a couple of things I do want to say. Circumstances being different, you would have had young Emma doing this, running this today. But Emma's currently looking after a beautiful 6-week-old baby.
Oh, wow.
So you got me instead.
Oh, well, what have you got exciting to tell us? Are you, sort of expecting to be a father in the next 6 weeks or something?
Definitely not. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
What else is wrong? See, most of the stuff on my sheet I can cut out. Yeah. So, yeah, we don't know when yet, but obviously, as we mentioned earlier, the event will be a broadcast like last year. But until we can work out exactly when that can be recorded, we can't tell you when that's going to happen. So we'll need to send you some info in relation to that once we get that clearer in our own mind as to when that can happen. Yeah, after the event, we'll send you down the certificates.
Right.
So normally you'd have me handing them over or throwing them at you, whatever, down there at Dartmoor.
We won't be able to perform to the audience this year again.
This is true. Now, instead of the kids singing, are you going to sing?
Oh, Sue and I could do anything if we get together at the right time of day.
What else? I don't have to apologise about pronunciation because Emma's not there to put her American twang on things.
That's all right. Sue's hard of hearing and I'm half deaf, so you're pretty right.
Someone else joining in. Are they going to uncover themselves?
Someone was knocking on the door.
Or reveal themselves.
Yeah. And Gary, maybe if I can just have a quick moment while that person's logging in.
You can.
Just to, yes. Was it only last Friday?
Keep peddling, Sabine.
This time's blurring together already, but last Friday, I've got unstable internet. So last Friday, the National Tidy Town was announced, which is Hastings in Victoria.
Wow, wonderful.
So we were very excited. Sadly, we couldn't have an event because Beechworth was the previous National Tidy Town. So we were to have a national event this year in Beechworth, but due to the ongoing lockdowns and inability of people to get together, it was a pre-recorded event, but it was very exciting. And unfortunately, because we had hoped that we could at least get all the Hastings people together in one room to watch the event, watch the national event, but with ongoing lockdowns, we all had to watch separately via Zoom. But it was so exciting when Hastings was announced. And I've got the national trophy in a box from the Governor General. So that's come from Canberra. And the moment we're allowed to go down to Hastings, we're going to grab that box and run down and give it to them.
That's a wonderful achievement, isn't it? 'Cause it's a beautiful area down there.
Certainly is.
They were very excited. So, and they are hoping, Hastings was very excited to win the States last year and was really looking forward to hosting everyone for the States this year. And they're pretty devastated that they can't do that this year. But fingers crossed we can all get together for the Nationals in Hastings.
To the Nationals.
We'll have to see who's the winner this year. So the Nationals.
When will that be?
Everyone can come to see the Nationals.
That'll be next year. Mm.
Yeah, next year. Generally, it's towards the start of the year. Yeah, it'll depend when all the state winners are announced. So sorry, I don't know if you are hearing me, so maybe I better stop talking, Gary.
No, but it just makes us feel better because we have terrible trouble here. Absolutely shocking trouble. Yeah.
I know. Sadly, regional Victoria does have third world internet, which is very sad.
And people insist on using internet for communications. That's the biggest problem. Half of them haven't even got mobile phone reception. So I don't know how they can get all the information via internet.
Yep.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So-
good news, Sabina.
Definitely is. Wendy, if it's okay with Sue and yourself, what we might do is to get the two of you to just give us a really brief, well, it doesn't have to be brief, but a quick rundown of the 6 projects that you entered this year.
Right.
Because
So,
we don't get to see them because the judging's done by people outside the organisation. We don't have an intimate knowledge of what the projects are, so we'd like to hear.
don't you?
No, that's
Well,
done totally independently.
I'll start off with what we consider our biggest project that was entered sort of across the board, really, and that was the development of our rail trail. We haven't yet named it, but we've been really fortunate this year to have had funding available that's allowed us to develop the 1.3 kilometre section of rail line that runs through the centre of town, and we've got the lease on the 11.3 hectare area that surrounds that. So it's an enormous area we've taken on. But the Shire's been really good because VicTrack wouldn't give us a lease unless we had the support of a council or something to do on the line. They'd give us the land, but not the line. So we've been working on this since about 2014. So it's an enormous achievement to have what we've got now. We've now got a beautifully formed and sealed 1.3 kilometre walking track with 4 access points and 3 car parks. So it's just a transformation of what was quite an unsightly area through the middle of town and a fire danger. So we've got big plans for the future for our open space area, but we haven't quite had the opening. It had to get cancelled because the lockdown, but it's very exciting, and we're so extremely grateful to our council. It's been a marvellous support to us, and I think over the years, as you know, Gary and Sabina, we've been pretty proactive little community, and oh gosh, you wouldn't believe it now, I've got a phone call coming in. I've got it on silent, but it didn't stop taking over this. No, but getting back to blowing our own trumpet, this is something like our 36th year in Tidy Towns, and I think what we've achieved in that time has been quite remarkable to see the transformation of the town and the attitude of people in the town and the pride that's taken place, and been developed over the years, and certainly the appreciation of the environment and everything that makes up just a really successful little place. I said it really got to be that you felt guilty in the last couple of years about the way the community survived and how they've supported each other. And, Sue might like to add something to it because I'm always dribbling on.
No, keep going. You're
No,
going well.
No.
I'll just jump on there for the edification of the other KVB people. Even though the town's been working since 2014, I think you said, Wendy, in relation to that piece of rail land, it's only been about the last 18 months you've had access to it. The rest of the time has been arguing with VicTrack to try and get access to it.
Absolutely appalling. Yeah. Absolutely appalling. And I think the Glenelg Shire did a tracks and trails strategy. It was probably finalised 12 months ago. And in that strategy, they said that they wanted to support the development of the walking track in Dartmoor. But even our CEO, who's just amazing, he was ready to bang his head on the brick wall, because I don't think I've ever seen an organisation who had volunteers willing to look after their land that made every hurdle imaginable, put every hurdle imaginable in place to stop it happening. So you know, it's an enormous achievement, because some places have been, you know, 7-10 years and still can't get leases in place for old stations and things like that. But look, on the side, I think this is a project that's amazing for a community going through, it's going through what we've all been through with COVID. You know, it's just such a positive project, and it involves the entire community as well as our children, and it's going to be a wonderful tourist attraction. It's not only going to be a tourist attraction for Dartmoor, but for the Shire itself. Pardon me. And I think the council took on that thought that it'll be a bit of a showpiece that will be, you know, an example set for the strategy that they've developed across the Shire. So that's the main one we put in, the working together, because we believe it epitomises what that project or that category represents. And getting on to
that's great that you actually got on there and have started work on it. That's wonderful, and I have no doubt the whole town is excited about that, to be quite honest.
We might be a little bit chuffed. I think it was probably one of those projects that blew the budget by probably 5 times, but it was just the wonderful support that allowed that to happen. Another area that I've entered is the controlling a problem in the environmental side. I sound like I'm having a bit on my dog box, but that'd be most unusual for me, Gary, wouldn't it? We've got a few farmers that have had problems with river frontage, and a lot of them lease river frontage, pardon me, and or very few own river frontage. But there's been a lot of push in years to control weeds and fence the riverbank and all that sort of thing to protect the riverbank. But unfortunately, you know, it's like a new broom and it doesn't continue. So there's been an ongoing issue of the blackberries coming back in these areas, especially the ones that are on the river sides. And the control of them, the funding's just vanished. You know, it's just not there to buy or to have any maintenance done on it at all. And one of our farmers especially, he's been really working hard towards trying to get some sort of support to get some control on these blackberries. I think, you know, the amount, I said to one of the judges that day, you know, the amount of poison one farmer's put out of his own pocket to try and control this is astronomical, you know. So it's a thing that we have to be aware of, and I'm a great advocate for it in any project in a community. It's fine to find money to do these projects, but you've also got to look at the long term of maintaining these projects, you know. And it's a wonderful idea to fence river frontage and protect it, but it's no good if you're going to just let it go to feral weeds, you know, like blackberries, because they are a major problem. We have lots of growth that's probably feral, but like cotoneasters and those sort of things become a real problem in the forest, and feral pine trees and things like that. But I think the blackberries are probably one of the worst ones. So we put that in as the controlling a problem one. We've also got a guy here who's very involved in the research and everything of carp that are coming further and further towards Nelson on the Glenelg River. So he works very hard on that too. So we've got people that have got a considerable interest in the environment. So that's a really good one in that section. Do you want to talk about the history of the cemetery? You don't?
No, because that's yeah.
So the recording our history in the heritage one is just really our local cemetery committee have worked really hard to research the unmarked graves, and they've got markers that are going to go onto these little graves, and they're listing the names of the people that are associated with these graves on the rotunda wall out at the cemetery. So that's been amazing to help record the history of the people out there that have been buried that haven't got marks on the grave. So that's just a really good one. recognising a need was our litter one, which you've seen, Gary, our composting bins, our recycling ones that have got the two bins that we've got that have got solar panels on them, and compactor bins they're called, I think. And they've been a wonderful introduction into the problem of having surplus rubbish at busy times in the towns. It's a bit of a problem where you have a fluctuating population and you have an influx at busy periods. So these compactor bins have been a big good introduction, because where we had bags and stuff sitting beside the bins, now they're able to sense that the bins are full, so the solar panels activate the compacting action. So they hold about 2.5 times, I think, what a normal bin is. It was interesting when we were talking about it, recognising the need that several people have evidently got the same problem in smaller communities where, they're looking at some way we can introduce extra bins that can just be pulled out at busy times. So I think that was where we identified the need in the litter department, and the utilising the waste was the entry we put in for Alliance Timber. So you'd be aware we're delighted that we've now got a business operating on the mill, the previous softwood mill site, and they're employing something like 30 people up there, 25, 30 people. And they've got a wonderful project going. They're peeling and barking posts, round timber. It's all for treatment. Now we've got the news in the background. But they've got agreement with a soil company in the Mount, so they come and collect. They've got an agreement with them, and they come and collect all the waste and utilise it. So they've got a bit of a sweetheart deal that they come and collect it and they get it for nothing. So that's been a really good thing for the utilising the waste material that probably was just left in the forest or on site, just some dump somewhere. But they're a really proactive company, and they've been very good within the community. So there's, they utilise offcuts and things they give them to the sporting group for their fire drums, and they sell a bit of mulch, or they donate it around the town. So we're very lucky to see the mill, the site anyway, being utilised for an industry. Yeah, I think.
How long was the site inactive for, Wendy?
Something like 10 years.
Wow. Oh, that's great that something's gone back in there.
Pardon?
That's great that something's gone back in there.
Yeah. And they're looking at even bringing their Terang site here, I think, because they've fired up the old treatment plant that was up at the mill. So that's a massive one for them too. So, yeah, that's Alliance Timbers, the old McVilly Timbers. So we're very lucky to, as I said, it's quite unusual to see a little town that we can say we're really positive with what's been happening in the last 12 months. So sometimes you feel, we've got new shopkeepers and new publican, and they've been so supportive, especially the shop. We've been so lucky with the support we've had from here. So that's been great.
Excellent. Did you talk about It's Happening?
Pardon?
Did you talk about It's Happening project and social wellbeing?
Oh, well, that's the social wellbeing, the same one as the. Well, I probably sort of talk more about that with the working together, which was the community one. So I think, just for everyone else, as you and Sabine have probably heard me harp on about this since day dot. But as I said, we started in this, the Progress Association decided to enter Tidy Towns in 1986. And at that time, we took it upon ourselves to accept the responsibility to mow and maintain the inner town areas of Dartmoor. So since 1986, we've owned our own machinery, and we've cared for the town itself and cleaned and tidied vacant blocks and whatever. We've got brilliant facilities here for sporting, and that's all done with volunteers. So virtually the whole town survives on volunteering. And I think probably Sue's involved in a fair bit of volunteering. She might like to add something to it. I don't need to be the one having the blurble all the time.
Oh, you're going well. mate. You're going well. I can't compete.
No, no. Oh, well, when you've been involved for a long time, it's very
Yeah.
easy to talk about what you do. Sue and her partner have only come to the town recently, but they've been very involved. So we're very fortunate to have people like that come into the town. So, but you know, I believe that the volunteering is what keeps the community going, and without it, we just wouldn't survive because we don't have a presence here. But because of the manner that they've run projects and or led projects, I think we've got a great respect from our local government and even further afield. So I think you sort of get what you earn. You know, I think you've got to, yeah, you know, little communities can just sit back and let things deteriorate. But I just look at this place, as I said before, you know, we've been years looking to get a dump point in for our free campsite area, and suddenly, you know, it's come to be, and it's just amazing, you know. And now the cricket club's had a bit of a revival with the young ones. They want to put in practice nets, so that'll be the next project we'll sort of look at trying to do, is, you know, set up that sort of thing. So it's great to see we're getting a lot of young ones come back to the town, and properties are selling, and it's very positive. So yeah, fingers crossed that it keeps going, because it's lovely to see.
That's good. For those that know, I'm talking KVB people at the moment. For those that don't know, Dartmoor is about as close you can get to South Australia without being in South Australia. It is a small town that's off the highway. So if you want to go to Dartmoor, you literally do need to do a right-hand turn to get into it.
Mm.
So, you know, the people I get in there are people that want to go there rather than picking up passing traffic. The closest shopping would be in South Australia at Mount Gambier, which is what, about 50 kilometres away, something like that.
Yeah. But
So how did you go when you couldn't get to Mount Gambier during COVID?
Well, like I said, the shopkeeper here goes to the Mount, you know, and has done right through COVID 2 or 3 times a week.
Right.
And besides getting his own supplies, he's been amazing, you know, with getting stuff for people that might need medicines or something in Mount Gambier.
Wow.
But we're classed as an essential traveller, so we can get permits to go across to shop. But, you know, then where there was the need to have a test every fortnight, I think a lot of people, well, me included, said, well, we'll go to Casterton, you know. So Casterton's only a smaller community, but you can just get your basics over there, like your medicines and stuff like that. So I think the imaginary line's always created some problems, so it continues to do so even through COVID, because we don't only have to abide by the Victorian rules, we've got to then consider if we go outside our, you know, our bubble area here, well, then we can't go to South Australia for a fortnight. So it's a really crazy one. But look, we're coping. I mean, there's a lot of people worse off. We've at least got space. We've got our lovely new walking track. Everyone can go for a walk each day.
Excellent. Excellent. Sam, can you come on and just read out the address for that survey, please? What we're looking for, Wendy, is if you and Sue could complete a survey, and it's only a very short survey.
Hang on, I'll screenshot you.
Yeah, that'd be good if you could do that.
Oh, well, especially if it was still there, Sam. Come on, I'm not that quick.
So if you click on chat, Wendy, that should bring it up again.
In the chat.
Oh, there you are. I've got a... God, I can't even see chat. I'm on the phone. Just remember, I've got to...
No, you're on the phone. Okay. It's in the middle of the screen at the bottom, the little chat tab.
Yeah, I know. It is on the computer, but it's not on the phone.
Oh, okay.
I've got your email, Wendy. I could email you that.
Oh,
link.
that would be great, because now I've got a message over now, right? No, I haven't. I can't find it. I tried to find it the other day, and I had to use my phone for Zoom, so I don't know.
Okay, that'd be good if the two of you could do that. It'll just help us. It's a survey to help us hopefully do things better. Okay.
I'm sure you'd love to hear my input into that, Carrie.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Okay, so yeah, thank you for today for a start. As I said, we do like to hear about what you're doing, and it is wonderful that Dartmoor has been involved for so long and has been so active and proactive as well. So that's wonderful. As I said earlier, we'll send the information down to you once we know more about when the event's going to happen. So I'm not sure whether Kirsty or Sabina want to sort of round this up.
I'll let Kirsty finish off, but I'll just again give an apology for Pruwong, who are unfortunately unable to attend today. They entered actually quite a lot of projects, but just before judging, they were hit by the very extreme storms as well, because they're in that Gippsland area. So they had very strong storms, and which did quite a bit of damage around the town. So they were unable to sort of participate a bit further. So, but they're certainly keen, and we're hoping to see them back again next year. But I'll let Kirsty finish off.
Thanks, Sabina.
I love what you do. I used to go scuba diving up at Mount Gambier. I know the closeness of the community, the way the whole area works. I'm just blown away by what you do. I love that rail trail. I love your persistence. Well, sorry, big track, huh? That was fantastic. I'll have to come up and see it. This sounds gorgeous. Look, yeah.
Be lovely. Thanks,
It's
Kirsty.
amazing what you've done.
Gary can justify, sort of back me up on saying that, I've tried to talk to a young lass that was doing this cricket net submission the other day, and I said, just keep persevering, because I think they eventually get sicky and say, oh, for God's sake, give them the money. They can't bear that woman coming back again.
I think they also realise it's going to be a good thing. Persisting for those many years is fantastic. It's a showcase. I love it.
Yeah, it's lovely. They're very proud of our little town, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We'll come up and see it when the barriers break down.
Yeah, we'll keep you to that.
You're on. Bye.
Okay,
Thank
then.
you.
So thank you, Kirsty. Anyone else have anything they want to add to anything there?
No, not really.
No. Okay, so we won't keep you on the line any longer. So
That's all
Thank
right.
you
It must be cup of coffee time at the Dartmoor store.
but yeah, so thank you for today, but more importantly, thank you for what you've done over many, many, many years, and congratulations to the community up there.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. We've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been great to be in the program.
Excellent. Okay then.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Bye all.
Take
See you,
care.
bye.
See ya.